When you are the center of attraction and have 1,000 cameras focused on you, 1,000,000 eyeballs measuring your moves, mistakes are bound to happen, and controversies are meant to spark that could put your name on our list of the most hated golfers of all time. While some love these players, others hate them for no reason. But one thing is for sure, they are never boring. Some of the golfers on our list have been absolutely despised by fans and critics alike for their terrible play on the course, while others have made headlines for their bad behavior off of the course. From Sergio Garcia's childish behavior, Matt Kutcher treating his caddy unfairly, Lefty's arrogant persona, and Patrick Reed being Patrick Reed. It's more than winning tournaments or getting involved in charity, because what some of your favorite golfers do behind closed doors is highly disgusting. Stick around as I dive into the controversial list, highlighting why they've become hated in the golfing community and other surprises along the way. Who do you think will be number 1? You see, back in the day, many probably thought Arnold Palmer was cocky, Ben Hogan was cold, and even Ballesteros had his fair share of haters. It was even said that Lee Trevino was too distant to connect with fans, a claim that was also directed at the best of golfers, Jack Nicklaus and Tom Watson, who never stopped chatting while playing. But now, we have a new breed of players that are disliked, and the first on our list is Brooks Koepka. Most people don't like Brooks Koepka because he has a reputation for being cocky and arrogant. He seems to think that he's better than everyone else, and this attitude is very unpopular among fans and critics alike. Koepka has an excellent game, and when he is on, he is certainly entertaining to watch. However, it might be difficult to continue rooting for him when he begins speaking after the events. As of last year, there was a big feud between Brooks and Bryson, but Koepka sure adds some drama to the PGA Tour. While taking a jab at Bryson DeChambeau, he said, "How my brain works is not Bryson or math or even science."
The way it works, it's not Bryson, it's not math, it's not science, it's just very simple. Just get the ball close to the hole, and how am I going to do that?
All in all, Koepka is a great player, but not always a trendy figure on the golf course. Check out our next player on our list whose racial statement and childish behavior got his name in golf's black book. Sergio Garcia. Garcia is one of the most hated PGA golfers of all time, both on and off the course. He's been despised by fans and critics alike for his terrible play on the course, and he's also made headlines for his bad behavior off the course. In 2012, Garcia made headlines when he made racist comments about Tiger Woods when he was on stage at the Ryder Cup. Golf Channel's Steve Sands asked the Spaniard whether he would invite Woods over for dinner at the US Open the following month. Sergio replied, "We will have him around every night. We will serve fried chicken." Sergio soon apologized for his comment after Tiger condemned his statement. Even the world number 1, Rory Mclroy, commented on the incident, saying this about it in an interview.
Being said, and I think Sergio realized that as soon as he said it. And I think as Tiger said, it's time to move on.
And that's not all. The 43-year-old has also been accused of acting like a petulant child. At the Saudi International, he was disqualified for intentionally damaging 5 greens. In the same tournament, he was caught on camera thrashing a bunker in frustration. Needless to say, Garcia is not very popular among golf fans. While Garcia might be childish, the next golfer isn't the friendliest guy on tour. Vijay Singh. The Fijian could be highly successful at what he does, but he rarely engages with others, and his after-round speeches were always dry, coming off as almost unfriendly. Even his longtime caddy, whom he seldom sees, may not get a morning greeting from him. One of his biggest controversial moments was when he was accused of doping. Singh claimed he didn't know the deer antler spray he used contained banned substances, which originally was banned in sports. So it's not really hard to see why he's hated. Next up is Matt Kutcher. Popularly known as Cooch among his fans and colleagues, Matt Kutcher is thought to be one of the nicest guys on tour. But when it comes to money, Mr. Cooch doesn't play. At the Mayakoba Classic in 2019, Kutcher went home with a winner's check of $1.3 million. Guess how much he paid his caddy? a meager $5,000. Caddies can usually expect to receive up to 10% of a player's winnings depending on their arrangement. But we really can't tell Matt how to spend his money. Although he apologized and paid his golfer a fair fee, his actions didn't go down well with his fans and colleagues on tour. Next up is Fuzzy Zeller. Fuzzy Zeller was a hell of a golfer back in the day. He racked up 10 PGA Tour wins, including wins at the Masters and US Open, and made more than $5 million in an era when tournament purses weren't even close to what they are today. But to an entire generation of golf fans, he'll always be known as the guy who made those racist comments about Tiger Woods during Tiger's historic win at Augusta National in 1997. If you ask many lovers of the game, Fuzzy is the worst golf has to offer. Zeller has been widely criticized for his racial remark directed toward Tiger Woods at the 1997 Masters. Zeller said something very demeaning and also called him a little boy in this clip.
To win. So you know what you guys do when he gets in here? Pat him on the back, say congratulations, enjoy it, and tell him not to serve fried chicken next year.
These statements depict Zeller as an arrogant man who finds it hard to comprehend the success of another golfer. Coming up next is David Duvall. David Duvall usurped the great Tiger Woods as world number one, but his glory days didn't last long. Duvall is hated because he had no time for anyone at the prime of his career. He hardly interacted with the fans, barely gave interviews, and avoided the press. To many, David was cocky and condescending, and this didn't help when he lost his edge. Duvall disappeared from golf only to return as a pundit after many years. Next on our list is Bubba Watson. Many of Bubba's supporters were angered by his decision to skip out on a lengthy driving competition held up just before a tournament began. His desire to have a wide variety of charities and the high regard in which he is held by his fellow tour players have earned him a lot of admiration. We don't think either he or Bryson is deserving of this honor, but fans always have the right to their own opinions. Coming up next is Rory Sabbatini. Rory Sabbatini can't stay away from trouble and loves to pick fights. One time, in 2005, he scolded Ben Crane for his slow play and challenged Tiger Woods, who was in top form at the time, to pick up his game 2 years later. That year, Sabatini's attitude got him listed on Sports Illustrated as the least favorite playing partner on tour. Check out the next golfer who is loved at home but hated abroad, Ian Poulter. Poulter always delivers for Europe in the Rydercup, and the Europeans love him for that. However, he is the golfer Americans love to hate. While Americans might dislike him because he is the emotional leader of the European Rydercup team, he is also disliked because he has exhibited poor behavior towards the fans and marshals of the game in the past. Poulter's demeanor on the course has been criticized. Over the years, his behavior has improved, but his questionable fashion choices haven't been well received by the fans. The next golfer easily fits into the most liked and most hated golfers list, Phil Mickelson. Mickelson is sometimes one of the nicest guys on tour, but he has a habit of making inflammatory statements that drive people crazy. He once made a reckless remark about Saudi Arabia while speaking to the Fire Pit Collective's Alan Shipnuck, saying he'd be willing to overlook the kingdom's horrendous human rights record and sports washing to gain economic leverage over the PGA Tour. Mickelson would later apologize, calling his statement reckless. But that wasn't after some of his colleagues, like Rory Mclroy, blasted him, calling him egotistical.
Naive, selfish, egotistical, ignorant.
Finally, we have Patrick Reed, whose position on the list is incontestable. Patrick Reed was once a darling of the Ryder Cup and the Captain America of golf. But that endearing nickname has since changed to the blue-collar cheat. Reed was penalized for making dubious moves that improved his lie at the Hero World Challenge in 2019. Reed would deny the allegations, saying the camera angle made it worse. But some of his colleagues vehemently disagreed, one of which was Brooks Koepka, who outright stated that Reed raised his hands twice, calling into question his denial.
Look at the video, obviously he grazes his hand twice, and then he still chops down on it.
He was also involved in some controversy at the Farmers Insurance Open in 2021, where he moved his ball before an official got to him. Last but not least, He stated that his ball fell into a palm tree at the Dubai Desert Classic in January this year, while the camera showed that the ball hit another tree. You see, once you've been tagged as a cheat in golf, it isn't something you can shake off, and Reed learned this the hard way. So whatever you do, don't cheat. But who do you think is the most hated golfer of all time? Let us know in the comments section below. For more intriguing golf content from us, click on one of these videos.